what I thought I'd do is I'd show some numbers. So I'm going to screen share to a presentation. What better way than showing a PowerPoint presentation with numbers and one chart? I've got one chart. Okay, so I'm going to swap over. Okay, can you see my screen? Okay, and I'm going to cue you when I've changed slides. You can let me know if the slide has changed. Okay, so in the very first week, I said that two really big mandates of the workshop are to support creating and connecting within the workshop. And again, I wanted to put sort of a quantitative face on, you know, how much creating and connecting did we do. Just to do some groundwork, I wanted to give you a sense of how many people enrolled for the workshop. So we had 2,140 people enroll, and I put enroll in quotes for a couple of reasons. One, enrollment is not the be-all, end-all for participation. So when you signed up for the workshop, we asked you, you know, how do you imagine interacting with this? You know, are you just here to like scope it out? Do you plan to do everything? And there's a lot in between that. One challenge with the platform we were working with, and I'm sure this is more of a limitation of, you know, me as designer rather than as a platform, it's really hard to peek inside to see exactly what was going to happen in the workshop. That's partly the sort of the infrastructure. You need to enroll to see all the activities. But another thing is, as I think we mentioned in the first week, this was all being like built and designed as we were going through. It's like every week we're going week to week with this, designing the videos, making the activities. We had a pretty good sense of what it was going to look like, but a lot of this was in response to what we were seeing you do. So, you know, when we see 2,140 people enrolled, a lot of these people were just a bit curious about what was going on. So let's dive in a bit deeper and see, okay, beyond just people who signed up, what happened. So one question we've been getting a lot is like, what is up with the notebook? So if you look at each of the 6 weeks, you see in the first week, a lot of people submitted design notebooks, and then there's this drop off, right? So like the first week is like 380, the next week is like 180, 190, and then it's sort of the steady decline. So even for week 6, at the beginning of week 6, on Monday, there were 10 notebooks. When I just checked, there were 95 notebooks. I think that's going to increase over time. But really, this was not, for me, this was an indicator that the design notebooks weren't the be-all, end-all for everyone. And I know there are people who are maintaining design notebooks but who aren't submitting them because they just wanted to be more of a private artifact. So I think one of our design goals was to make this about you and your learning, and you could opt into as much or as little as you want. And I think this is reflected in this. Of course, you know, some people just wanted to do the first week and they had that experience and that was good. Some people really want to do the whole thing, the deep dive, and that's also good. So we're happy to support you in whatever way, but just to give you that visual map of how that changed. Let's look at other quantitative data. The group was really prolific. So this was one of the things that Michelle was compiling this week, looking across all of the studios, all the different activities. And these were just projects that were added to Studio. So there are a bunch of people who created projects, again, to the point of making it customizable and you pursuing your passions. These were the only projects that we were able to very easily track. So 4,746 projects created in 6 weeks is pretty kick-ass. I'm going to say that. I'm going to go there. Okay, what else do I want to show you? And so that's about creating. Let's talk about connecting and the types of interactions. And we've already heard this from everyone. You know, there were, this was based on email in my inbox. So I went about things that were from Google Plus community. We had 1,050 posts as of yesterday when I counted this. These are just top level posts. So to Michelle's earlier point about comments, I wasn't getting notified about comments on other people's posts. So you can imagine there's one post and 16 comments. Like it really sort of like balloons out in that way. Google group posts over the past 6 weeks, there have been 2,519 posts, I'm sure increasing as we speak. Slightly smaller number, but this only came online at the beginning of the week. This is also sort of a call to action from me to you. I have to end with nagging, of course. We really care about your experience of the workshop, and this is just one metric or one way of assessing your experience. We put together a survey. I think it's pretty easy as far as surveys go. There's I think 10 questions. I'm getting the like sort of agreeing face from Michelle.